Hello, it looks hello, and it looks like we are live, or I am live. We have a couple people joining me here in just a couple of minutes, but I figured I would jump on and start telling you about my journey with Outschool. So, welcome, thanks for coming. Let me know who's here. Just type down in the chat where you're coming in from. And are you teaching on Outschool? Are you here as a parent? Let me know. So, what do you guys think of my new background? I just learned how to do virtual backgrounds in Zoom. So, it's actually a green screen. And you can see I have a sheet right here. And I thought I would bring Japan to you. I miss it there. So, super fun. Okay, a little bit about Outschool and what I've been doing. Hey, teacher Stephanie, thanks for coming. So, actually, just recently, I was tagged in a post. Kelly tagged me with a parent asking about handwriting without tears. So I have experience with handwriting without tears, and there was a parent looking for some info and maybe somebody to teach their daughter about grip and things. So I'm super excited for that. I just started making the class, and I'm just going to do it privately on Outschool for now while I get reacquainted with handwriting without tears. So I love teaching letter sounds and pencil grip and little tips and tricks to that. So Stephanie says she teaches on Outschool and loves it. So Stephanie, what classes do you teach and which age group do you teach? And Stephanie, if you ever want to come on here and talk about Outschool, we would love to have you. So you just let me know. You can message me sometime. Coming up shortly, I think teacher Rebecca and Kelly, they're finishing up classes before they can jump on. So hopefully we'll hear from them about their journey. Most of them have been with Outschool for more than 6 months. How long have you been teaching, Stephanie? I think I started to sign up in August and started classes in September, I believe. So I'm fairly new. Beginning reading. Oh, I love it. I love Deanna Jump and Dee Dee Will's reading. Have you seen their guided reading? I use it in my kindergarten class. It's amazing. I love it. Oh, good. Yeah, let me know. We'll do it. So yeah, they've got great curriculum. They're on Teachers Pay Teachers, Deanna Jump and Dee Dee Wells. Oh, we're like twins, Stephanie. Awesome. So I have taught, I think, about 22 students, and then I stopped teaching for a little bit. It was just, I was getting so nervous and so worked up all the time before classes. I was teaching STEM classes, and I love STEM classes, but I would get nervous. You know, when you're in the brick and mortar classroom, if you have a class that you've planned, a lesson plan, and you're working on it and it fails, then you just go and do something else, and save that lesson and tweak it for another day. But I feel like on Outschool, if it's not going well, there's not much I can do because the parents signed up for it. So I get so nervous and worked up for it. Do you still get butterflies, Stephanie? You have to let me know. And Kelly will be joining us right now. I see she's coming in to Zoom. I've heard of them, but not familiar. Yeah, they've got super products. For my kindergarten class, I used to have center rotations, and I would rotate the kids through all of their centers and everything. Hey, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How'd your class go?
Good. It's very small. It's kind of a new class. I'm getting up and running. Just 2 people, but it worked. It was a younger crowd, so they liked that they could talk more.
What class was it?
It's a Welly Wishers book club, which is so the younger, like the baby doll American girls geared toward the younger kids. So it's like the age you like kindergarten.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just talking about it with Stephanie here in the chat. So she's doing the same age groups as me. She's doing beginning reading. So
okay. And anyone who came to my summit knows I'm doing beginner chapter books. So like when the kids switch from reading like kindergarten to maybe like just start reading chapter books with the
Mhm.
ones with more pictures. Except this Welly Wisher one is a slightly younger than most of my other classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cute. I was just telling them how you tagged me in a post with a parent looking for handwriting without tears stuff. So I just I'm making them a class, and we're supposed to start next week. So I really got to get this class put in today.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's
I
good to
almost
hear
messaged
that.
you to see if you wanted to help me live put a class together and show people how to do it.
Oh, that would have been fun.
We
Yeah.
should think about that sometime. I don't know. Would you guys
Yeah.
be interested in us walking you through a live making of a class? You have to let us know. Maybe we can do it sometime. But I've decided I was going to work with that student, but I'm just going to do private for now. You know me, I get so nervous. So I'm just going to do a private lesson and then reacquaint myself with handwriting without tears. So
Then that child and parent benefit from the private lesson then.
And you know what's funny, Kelly, is you tagged me in that. So I didn't know this person, but we have friends in
Yeah.
common from Germany.
Oh, wow. What a small world.
Isn't that neat?
Super small world that you would just meet someone online and happen to be someone that knows people you know. Yeah.
Right. I guess we were there around the same time. So that's fun. So Kelly, you want to tell us about your journey? How are things different from when you started with Outschool till now? How long have you been teaching?
6 months. Yeah. I
Yes.
started actually my first class in June. So yeah, 6 months. Okay, so I talk about this a little in the summit. I don't want to give it away, everything away, because we are selling the tape, and anyone who was there already heard this. But what I thought was going to end, classes that I was going to end up teaching ended up not being classes that I teach. And I did a YouTube video when I first got hired and said, these are the things I'm thinking about teaching. And like none of them ended up being what my niche was. My niche
Wow.
is now. Yeah. So, as you know, I started with the American Girl Tea Party class, which was my first class I listed and my first hit.
Good.
And then I'm going to go through it quickly in case anyone already heard the story at the summit. And then I did a side job where someone asked me to do a group discussion with Owl Diaries. And so I did that. And then I was like, well, I may as well create a Outschool class. I already did the class and I already have the stuff. So I did, but then I noticed that the Owl Diaries, the age and the gender went along with the American Girl. So that's how I started having like same type of class book. And then from there, it snowballed. Owl Diaries is like a beginner reader chapter book. And I started just doing more of those. And now that's my niche, beginner reader beginner chapter book readers. And I'm actually just created a couple new classes for the winter, and the ones I already have open, Owl Diaries and Dogman, I'm opening new sections of it in the winter, and I already have starting to get bookings. So yeah, it's going well. It's growing. Yes. So it's totally different classes than I thought I'd be teaching, but hey, be open to change with what books, and be open.
Yeah, your audience definitely will choose your niche for you sometimes.
Yes, very true. Because there's a few, I tried some, not too many. I mean, I tried a lot of classes, but I tried some geared towards middle school and high schoolers. It didn't book as well. But I do think they have more younger kids on the Outschool platform too. So
yeah. So how did Summit go? And do you have a date for the next one, or how's that?
Yeah, the summit went really, really well. We got mostly positive feedback, and people are asking for the next one. And we're selling the recording of it now for anyone who missed it.
Good.
So we're still talking about exactly what we want to do in January. We're going to do something. We may just do small group coaching. But, we're definitely going to do a similar type of summit in the future, but maybe in a few months. But we're still talking about exactly what we're going to do, but we will do something in January. Yeah.
Great. So I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you have the link if somebody wants to order the video from the summit or not yet?
Actually, how about I will put it in the comments after we finish, because I'm
Sounds
trying
good.
to find it while we're talking. Will be yes.
Yeah, I can't even believe like I've talked to you about it and then I didn't even buy my ticket or anything. And I'm like, was it today? Oh my gosh. So I totally missed like 2 different coaching things I was supposed to go to on that day. So
That's okay. We're selling the recording, so you can still
cool.
see it.
Awesome. All right. So you've been with Outschool for 6 months and I can't say it compares to any other online program, right?
No, I mean, it's different, but at the same time, there's, I feel like for VIP Kid, I learned a lot that I can apply towards Outschool that makes me
Yeah.
a better Outschool teacher.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a familiarity. Is that how I'm saying it?
Mhm.
It is, because we are online teachers, so it kind of rolled over pretty nicely.
It
But
does.
I've gotten lots of questions about making lessons.
Mhm.
Like, is it hard to lesson plan? And the 30%. And I know those are 2 questions you've answered on here before. Can you just let people know quickly about those 2?
The lesson planning's not as hard as I thought. How about this? Don't do complicated lessons if you don't like lesson planning. um,
True.
yeah. And I also tell people like maybe if you get a class listed, obviously you have to do some work to get it listed, but maybe set it to open your first class in a month from now, and maybe don't work on your Google Slides or other aspects of the class until you get a booking. That way you didn't do all the work and then not get a booking.
Right.
So
That happened to me. One of my close friends asked me to make a plan, and I made it for like 20 weeks, and then they never
mm.
signed up. I was like,
Maybe you could still use it in the future,
I probably
revamp
could.
it
I
to
don't
make
think they realize how much goes into planning out that many classes because it was a letter a day.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, huh. Or it was a couple letters per day to get through the whole alphabet. No, a couple letters per week to get through the whole alphabet is what it was. And then number 1. So, but I opened it up for them and they didn't end up booking. So, you just kind of have to see. I probably could open it up again for others. So,
Oh, the 30% question
yeah.
too. Okay, so even after Outschool takes their 30%, most of the time you still make way more money than you do at VIP Kids. So
Yeah.
that's all I have to say about that.
I can only remember my first class. It was 30 minutes and I made $77. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah. And it depends how full the class is. I mean, the class I just came from, I only had 2 learners. I probably made about the same that I do at VIP Kid, but most classes you make more. So
Right.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that was my first hour because I had 2 classes that day and they were both 30 minutes. So it was $77 in my first hour because I had 11 students. That's what it was. So 11 students at $10, they take their 30%. I still made $77 for that hour. And like Kelly has mentioned here, they do the advertising for us. They're finding students to bring to the platform, and then it's our job to attract the students. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the 30% for advertising is pretty good, especially if you own your own business. You'll see.
Yes. I mean, at the summit page did give tips on how you could advertise for yourself on top of what they do. But I've seen more than once, I've seen my own classes advertised on Outschool.
Yeah.
So that's on.
And
Yes.
Paige is a great resource for that. So next summit, if she's
Yes.
talking about that, she's
Or if you buy the recording, it's on
right.
there.
She owned her own business for a while. I won't get into much about it, but if that was her discussion topic, then yeah, she's a
Mm-hmm.
great resource. What were
Hello,
the,
Rebecca.
hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
Rebecca,
Hi.
can you tell us there's 5 of you with different topics, right? Or 4?
Four, yes. So Brooke first talked about making really good thumbnails and
Oh, good.
videos, and also like how to get up in the keyword searches
Oh,
too.
good.
And then I talked about making a portfolio of classes, making classes that go together. So you have the same type of learners that want to take more than one of your classes. And then after me was Marianne, and she talked about making your one-time classes into ongoing classes and just the different type of classes in general. And then Paige talked about marketing and getting your class out there, and not just marketing as an advertising, but she gave good tips on the type of welcome message and type of emails you should send out and things like that. So yes.
Awesome. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, lost track of time. Saw you were live. I'm like, oh no, I said I was going to join today. So I have about 10 minutes before I have to leave to get my baby to bed to teach my next Outschool class.
Oh no. So we can wrap it up fairly quick here. Stephanie was here. Her and I were talking in the chat for a little bit. So
Nice.
yeah. So Rebecca, this was kind of a topic you wanted to talk about. So how were your first 6 months, maybe 7 now, since we've talked about
Yeah.
this
I
topic?
mean, my first month was May or June, and I taught like 3 classes. Go up in like, maybe $100, whatever. But my goal now is teach about 30 hours per month. So it ends up being about 7-ish hours per week. I do about an hour a day, split into 2 half-hour chunks, morning nap and afternoon nap when my baby's sleeping. My 4-year-old can watch TV, but my 1-year-old,
Yeah.
no. She's got to be in contained. And that's going really well. So I've been able to keep up the momentum with some ebbs and flows here or there. I earn kind of like medium, like $1,000 a month is what my goal is. So
Great.
that's doing pretty good. Ongoing is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have to talk about that. I'm setting one up, and
Mhm.
they want to try it for a class or a week first.
Mhm.
So I was just telling Kelly, maybe we should do a live of planning out a class.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. And you can't get discouraged with ongoing classes because they can start slow and then they build. I do once a week classes. And I know for my daughter, my life schedule is crazy and she goes off to preschool. So to have a 3 times a week class is hard for me as a parent to make sure she attends. Now, some parents love it and they use that instead of preschool. And so they like that structure. And some parents can't commit that much around virtual learning in their public schools anyway. So I do once a week. And I started my class in late summer and I had 1 student that showed up. I'm like, okay, well, we'll do it for a couple more weeks and see what happens. It was 2 students. And then that section filled up with 6. So I had another section and that started filling up and another section. So now I'm doing 5 sections of the same math class every single week. And I just repeat the game those 5 times. And sometimes they have 2 or 3 kids, all up to 6 kids. 6 is the max for that class.
Nice.
And I could add more if I could, but my life says no.
But go ahead. I'll add to it when you're done. Yeah.
So then I thought to myself, I have all these one-time science classes. What if I take my 6 one-time science classes and make it into an ongoing class and add more things to it? So using what people have said, take what you have and make a course out of it, I decided to do that. So that's going to start in January. And some of them will be exact replicas of my one-time class. And then some of the weeks will be brand new. So it's going to be once a week as well. And so people who are my regulars will subscribe and will be there for as many weeks as they want to. They can come and go and that's cool.
Cool. I have some science classes that I've made that were approved and I haven't opened them yet. We might
just do it. Just do it, Kasie. Just jump in and do it. Come.
Chicken.
You can. It's good money. Better than VIP Kid. Are you tired of getting up early?
I know, right? I've really cut my schedule down to something that's been working for me, though. I get up at 4:30 and teach 2 hours, 7 days a week.
I used to teach VIP Kid 4 hours every day. Now I'm down to 2 hours every day.
Me too. And I'm
black without school.
I'm planning to cut back after Christmas. I already took time off at Christmas, and after Christmas is Chinese New Year, and they're not going to be booking. So I figured that's a good time to make a break. I don't know if I'll close all my slots at VIP Kid, but I might just close certain days or even cut hours. Like, yeah, it's exhausting.
I have like one class booked every day, at least until January 20th.
Oh, Starlight classes.
Yeah. So
You're
I'll have
booked
to
out.
slowly try to close at least 1 or 2 days is what I'm thinking. I do just need to get up my
Confidence.
confidence. There's the word. That's a much better word than I was coming up with. So, so
And
Kelly,
I
you
know
were going to
I
add
know
to.
I still teach the one student classes. So I
Mhm.
still make a little bit less sometimes. I only if I so I figured out that if you charge like $8 to $10 per student, give or take, per half hour, you get about $5-ish, $5 to $7 per student take home pay. So
Mhm.
one student is less than a VIP kid class. Two students about breaks even. Anything after two students,
Oops.
you're making bucks. But I'm still willing to teach those one kid classes if they need to. Like I'm already here. I'll just do the one. They may become a repeat student later on, so it ends up working out.
Yeah.
I just hate like talking to the parents because sometimes the parents are like, "This is the time that I want. If you're two choices, there's nothing left to transfer into. I can't plan too far in advance." So
Right.
like, can you transfer? No, there's no other options to transfer to. So like, then I'll just teach it.
Interesting. So I guess, I mean, that is a good tip because you said you started off and some only had one in them, but now it's built up to many sections of the same one. So,
Yeah, and sometimes there's
Yeah.
last minute signups. Last week I was thinking, oh, okay, I canceled my one that had no learners. That's fine. I had one in the other one. I'll teach the one. And like a half hour before, I got like 3 more learners. I'm like, well, I'm glad I kept it open.
right.
Yeah.
So Kelly, do they have to prepare before they come to your reading class? Like, can they decide
Yes.
a second to come to the class or do they need to have read?
Well, yeah, they're supposed to have read the book. I only have one section of one of my classes where we read the book out loud. And that's just because when the class got really small in the fall after everybody went back to school, we only had 2 learners and they requested it that way. So that one stayed that way. But all the rest of them, they're supposed to have read ahead of time. I mean, they still can sign up last minute. A lot of them, like whatever book series it is, love the books and have read all of them anyway, or have
Oh,
all of them at their house. So they still could. But yeah, they're supposed to have read them beforehand. Yeah.
great. All right.
So yeah, but I wanted to add to that. Yeah, Rebecca said. So in the fall, the enrollment was started to get low because everyone went back to school. I had maybe 2 learners, maybe 3 in each of the sections of my class, and now they've grown and they're like full, and I'm adding new sections. So it starts to come once you get going. Yeah,
Right. I just need to do it.
you do.
Yeah,
And
Kasie, I do keep looking at your profile to hopefully tie up my daughter, but you're never available.
what's that? Oh, Kelly?
Yeah, well, no, Kasie, I keep thinking my
Okay.
daughter might enjoy one of your classes, but you're never available.
I'll make more classes.
You need
Kelly, I think my
to.
daughter's too young for yours. I don't know. My
Yeah,
daughter's 4.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. Except she came to my tea party class, but
Yes,
all
she.
the other classes besides that, yeah, she's too young for. So
Yeah.
they're chapter books. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did email the publisher for Pout Pout Fish, and they said I can use the books on Outschool. So
Nice.
I just need to make them. Especially since your baby is so good at listening to my YouTube stories.
She does. She loves
Aw.
those.
He does. That's so sweet. Well, we hope we helped you out a little bit about our journey. I said 6+ months, but I think I'm the only one that's not here, that hasn't been here for 6 months yet. So, any last minute words?
Don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, and be patient. It takes time.
Mhm.
It takes time. And some people are just doing really, really good, and some people are struggling. I don't know the rhyme or reason of how to really get yourself out there because my
Mhm.
friend and I are doing the same kinds of things, and she's struggling, and I'm still getting the momentum. I think for me, it's the re-enrollments. I'm finding classes that my regulars would love to take, and every time I make a new class, I have this whole group of kids who take that class,
Yeah.
and then the class kind of fizzles out. But hey, I got a big boost out of that, and so I boost over holidays. So
Mm.
Halloween, I did a Halloween themed class for like 2 weeks. And well, now that's done. Then a Thanksgiving class. And now I'm doing like a candy class, candy cane class. And then I'm doing snowflakes for January. So I'm getting those re-enrollments, and that helps boost it for a little bit. And then if they start seeing there's a demand for that class, I get some new kids coming in the first class with me. So that's kind of nice. But like, okay, what will my core kids will like to take?
Right. And I'm so bad because they were booking. So
Mm.
I would teach the class, but then I just closed everything because I was like,
Oh,
I get so
Kasie.
nervous.
Keep the momentum.
Yes. And I have to, can I add to that? This is a shameless plug, but a lot of the strategies we gave in our summit, which we are now selling the video, have to do with getting yourself out there and noticed. So, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kelly's going to put the link in the comment section after we leave here. So that's it. That's all we have for you. Let us know in the chat box, even if you're watching the replay, what kind of things would you like to know about Outschool? What should we collaborate on next? And that's it. Thanks for coming, guys.
Great. Thanks.
Welcome.
All right. We'll see
Bye.
everybody later.